Going to be a little bit of a tutorial for Nike, Conquest mostly solo. I just finished a matched up with her. I got my placement. I'm only in silver, but last split I finished her off around rank 30, and my last I'll go into it in a second here. My last 10 games were with her. Those should be pretty good. Anyway, just really quickly show the build here that I finished off with, and this is pretty typical to my Nike build. You see in there I got the Brawler's Beat Sticks. I was going up against Hercules, and then all the armor. And I'll go into that next, all the armor that I used and the items that I have already stored. So let's go into that. So let's go over to my gods, and down to my baby Nike. So I'm not qualified yet, still a couple of games into the summer split, so not there yet. Let's see, let's go down to my history, see how we've done my last couple of games. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 of my last 6 games I won, and those were qualifiers. I just finished up qualifying, but like I said, I only got in silver. See, my overall win-loss is pretty good there too, so I like to think I know a thing or two about Nike. I start with the items. So I just always starting off with the Warrior's Blessing here. And I go Warrior's Blessing, Tier 1 boots, and the Health Chalice here. And then my relic I use is the Teleport. And this allows you to get in and out of your lane quick and keep you alive a little bit longer with the Sustain. And then from there, depending on who I'm laning against, usually it's another Warrior or something like that. I'll finish off my boots build and go into Breastplate and get my cooldown started. The best thing with Nike to do is work on your cooldown. That's going to be key to victory, is cooldown. So we'll go from there, and then from there I'll add, depending on who I'm laning against. If I'm having trouble and I need health, I'll go for the gem, but otherwise I'm usually going right into my other cooldown item. Now if I'm taking a lot of damage and I'm getting ganked and they've got a mage, like Ao Kuang or something, we've got this armor here for extra cooldown. So these are my cooldown items, these 3 here: Breastplate, the Genji's Guard, and the club here. Sorry, I don't remember all the names of them off the top of my head, so just bear with me. So we'll stick with the kind of a usual build, and this guy here, and then my last items. This is situational mostly. Right here, like Spectral Armor, or whatever that one is, sorry. And then last item, actually I gotta swap it out and get rid of, I'm not really hiding the enemy line too much with this armor here being as powerful as it is, just slowing out down enemies. So we drop this, and what I want to add is something I was just playing around with for the last couple of games, Emperor's Armor. So we'll put Emperor's Armor on this build as well. And with Emperor's Armor and full cooldown, you can tank a Phoenix no problem. That's really where Nike's most powerful, is tanking the towers and tanking the Phoenixes. And with Emperor's Guard here, she just goes, stays alive the whole time while your team just rips through it. So that's kind of the overall build. You see I've got some relics here, depending again, either Horrific Emblem or Shield of Thorns mostly are what I use as well. And usually once I've gotten everything built except for my, I gotta swap out my starter item, I'll go ahead and grab the Chalice. You want to keep those wards up for your team and for yourself so you can teleport to them in and out of battle quickly. So keep those wards up and keep wards moving. So that's another important key with Nike. So that's kind of the whole build overall. Then we'll go into the, next I'll go into the abilities. I don't want to save my build though. And our abilities are pretty simple. Really just start off with our 1, and then we're building out our 2. Oh, this one's all screwed up. Let's see, let's clear that. So we do our 1, and you do your plan of action, and you do your Valiant Leap, back into 1. And I work on plan of action first, because that's really your only way to stay alive. Sentinel Zeus there. So you work on Rend first, then plan of action. That's the only way, like I said, that's her only way she's got to stay alive, so work on that. Really not using Valiant Leap to initiate combat all that much, so just stick with that and really work on staying alive. Another key to victory with Nike is just staying alive. You want to keep your passive going so your teammates have that buff, and this guy here, and just keep that buff going. So you want to keep that power and movement speed up going. Now for really pro players, another trick you can use is once you've got your buff fully stacked, all 3 stacks, you can drop your boots. Go ahead and save my build there. You can even drop your boots and add, another defense item if that's where you want to get into hide. Put back hide in the Nemean line, or you haven't had hide in the Nemean line, or you don't have your Emperor's Guard yet. I'll put that back on there, Emperor's Armor. So we'll save my build there. So that's a real pro move if you're, just really killing it, and the team just needs heavy defense, and you've got good warding, and you can teleport in quickly, and you just need to use your little burst of speed that you have to get into the tower or whatever. It's a good way to do it. So drop your boots and add more defense, because your passive really adds up to it. There's a couple other items you can use with Nike. I've actually made drop this, and I've started using a different item, but I can't see. Stone cutting sword, is it? Let's see. 1 second, guys. Sorry about this. Yeah, there we go. So you can throw in, stone cutting sword as well. This really boosts your movement speed, and it's the passive is nice as really well. But this, with a full Nike passive, is full boots movement speed. So really, the boots at that point aren't doing you much good if you're using the stone cutting sword. So that's another pro tip you can do. So let's build that here. We'll build up that, and we'll say get this going. Obviously, this is not in the right order, but you can see some pretty. It's pretty effective overall. You've got good protections, but really with the Emperor's armor, this thing's just going to allow you to tank those towers and keep your team going. So really, the key with Nike is just victory. Think endgame. Don't think boxing guys one at a time, and don't think taking out your solo laner is going to do you much good. Just stay alive and stay leveled, and you'll be good. So this is my first video, guys. Post comments, let me know what you think, and try not to be too hateful. Appreciate it.